The following video illustrates the creation of pCell using analog rails. Here I will be creating a pCell for fringe capacitor. To start with, go to File and select Create New pCell. A pop-up will appear. Choose the process library where you want to create a pCell and give it a name. Now check the layout view if you want to import the already existing layout by choosing the appropriate path, or you can draw it from scratch. When you hit OK, you will be able to see the layout in the window. You can select the visibility of each and every layer according to your need. Now from the layout window, select all the structures that belong to the same net. Then reassign the shape to the net by making a right click on it and then enter the name of the net. Now repeat this step for all the structures that have a common net. Now add a pCell stretch line to the layout. You can add a pCell stretch line by making a right click on the structure and draw the line where you want it to be, and choose the layers you want to be stretched and also choose a group for the stretch line. You can add as many stretch lines you want. After you are done with adding the stretch lines, your layout will look like this. Now I'll be using a clone rectangle tool to repeat the selected structure. For this, do a right click and hit add pCell clone rectangle and then select the structure you want to be repeated. Now select the direction and the layers for the repetition you want. After you are done with this, create a symbol for this pCell. Go to the symbol tab and you can create your own symbol, or you can use the existing symbol if you already have one. After you are done with this, save the pCell design in the process library and close the design. Now open the PDK GUI and select the device you just created from the primitive drop-down box. You can use the Set Copy Primitive tab to copy the properties from some other primitive and choose the appropriate mold you want. Now you will be able to see different properties, and you can add and remove other properties also. I'm adding a new property to represent total capacitance. Now you can enter and edit the columns for each property accordingly. When you have entered all the required values for each property, you will get the window like this. Now here I have used the term IPAR in the expression column. IPAR is used to call the value from some other property. After you are done with this, you can save the design and make sure you enable it before saving. And now you can close this window. Now open the design tool. Here I'll open a new analog design in order to test this pCell. Choose or create a library where you want this cell to be in and name the cell accordingly. Now choose a newly created pCell primitive which will be visible in capacitor mold. You will be able to change the property values according to your requirement. Here I'll change the total capacitance value, and you can see the other properties which are dependent on it automatically changes, and the change will also be reflected in the layout. This shows how simple it is to create a pCell in analog rails.